How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a great day. So today I want to talk about the problem of men, especially younger men, being weak and just soft and kind of wimps in today's culture. And I'm not talking physically, but I'm talking about men who are afraid to be uncomfortable. And the problem is, there's a lot of times in life that in order to be a good man, you have to risk being uncomfortable. The reason I'm doing this while I was working out is because I'm not quite comfortable right now. And so it's kind of an apt setting for me to be in. So first off, before we get into this, just got to think historically how men have acted through the ages. And, obviously it's not all been good. But I will say that life in general has been becoming just incredibly easier. I mean, think of it this way. You have a machine. You can take your dirty dishes, put them in, put a thing of soap in, turn it on, slap up the door, and you have a machine that washes your dishes. You have a machine that washes your clothes. All right? You have a TV where you can basically learn whatever you want on YouTube or whatever it is. You name it, we've made a machine for it. And it's incredible. It's very helpful. And we should use the time we have from that to better ourselves and become better people. But there's a danger that comes along, in my opinion. This is just what I think. I think there's a decent amount of danger that comes along with making life extraordinarily easy for us, okay? And that is, we kind of come to believe that comfort and everything being easy is the way that everything should be. And I just don't think that's the case. I don't think it's going to make at least happy men in this culture. I don't know about women, but I know for a fact that not accomplishing things for me and constantly worrying about being comfortable, for me, it pushes me away from becoming a man. And that's how I've always seen it. It's like, and I'm not advocating you go wash your hands or well, you should wash your hands, but that you go and you wash your clothes by hand or you wash all your dishes by hand. I think those are great inventions. But I'm saying keep a mindset and keep yourself strong, okay? Don't let yourself become weak and complacent when it comes to being comfortable. Comfort is a good thing, but it's not what life is about. And the fact is, a lot of the times I am the happiest when I'm the most uncomfortable. When I'm really working hard or when I'm really pushing myself, that's when I'm the happiest, and I'm not comfortable. But the problem is we've been sold this whole thing of, well, comfort is everything, all your products need to bring you about more comfort and comfort this, comfort that, and it's like, yes, comfort is good in and of itself, but too much of it is very bad for you. And that's how I've always seen it. If you're not willing to push yourself in different areas of your life, it doesn't have to be physically, it can be mentally, whatever it is, it's not easy, it's not comfortable, you would say, to read a book, for instance, like to take the time to sit down and read a book, but when you get done, you get to slap that book on the table and you say, yep, I read all that, and I absorbed at least some information from it, not all of it, but some. That's a good thing, and you should be proud of yourself. But it didn't mean you were comfortable doing it. It doesn't mean that it was easy. It doesn't mean you didn't have to, use some willpower and use some discipline to take time out of your day and not go watch YouTube videos and to go actually do something with yourself and to make something out of your day and the time that you've been given. We are at a place in history, in my opinion, where we have so many good things at our disposal. We've got just the average person in America, at least, has so many things that make their life incredibly easy. For all the stuff we complain about, life is easy, people. Life is, listen, there's struggles, but on a practical level, right? Obviously there's all kinds of struggles throughout the world, but on a practical level of just getting, mundane things done in your day, washing your clothes, you've knocked out hours of your day you would be doing that otherwise. Washing your dishes, hours of your day. You just, cooking your food, you can cook in a microwave. Guys, we've got it pretty good. Now the question that you got to ask yourself is, what the heck am I going to do with all that extra time that I've been given because of these things? I grew up with those things. I'm 20 years old. I grew up with those things, and they were integrated in my life. And for a while there, before I really started reading some, about history more, it was like, this is just how life is, And then you read history and you're like, oh my goodness, these people were spending hours and hours of their day just doing, in my opinion, what was just incredibly boring stuff. And I'm not saying they didn't find meaning in that, they didn't find worth in that. I'm sure they did. Actually, I'm sure it would be great to look back at all your clothes and say, I washed all those by hand, and I did a darn good job, you know, like that's great. But, you know, I grew up with those things, and looking back, it's like, wow, we've got so much time on our hands, so much time. And the question you got to ask yourself is, am I using that time that I've been given, that history has placed me here in, you know, here in this time, am I using that time I'm given to better myself and to do more with myself than I would if I would have had to do all those things? You know, like, am I actually pushing myself? Am I trying to make myself a better person? Because I mean, I don't like to be the guy who says this, but whatever. You've got no excuse. I mean, some people do. Some people are fighting their whole entire life just to stay alive and to get through those mundane things, to be able to pay the bills and stuff. I get that. Well, a lot of people, I mean, listen, you got so much time on your hands. I mean, just think about the amount of Netflix this country watches. And I love Netflix. I'm not down on it, you know. But, like, there are people who will spend 6 to 8 hours watching a series, you know. And that's, you know, I'm not here to badmouth anybody or to try and make anybody feel bad about themselves. But maybe that's what you need to hear. Is like, geez, well, Pete, don't spend 6 hours of your day. You know, moderation, dude. Just take a couple at a time. And I'm guilty of that too. I mean, Stranger Things, man, I binge watched that series so bad. I mean, I think I got through all 3 seasons in about, you know, a week and a half. And it was awesome. But did I really accomplish anything with myself? Did I better myself? Heck no, I didn't, okay? I got fat and lazy. That's what I did. And, you know, so what I'm trying to get at here is, the men in our society, we've been given a great opportunity, and we're in an incredible time in history. And if you look around, a lot of the problems that we see are caused, I mean, I'm not going to I'm going to generalize because this is what I believe. A lot of the problems that are caused, you know, in this world, it's because I really think we just got so much time on our hands, where we try and find something to do with it. And so, you know, I think a lot of times people make problems that don't need to be problems. And that's an issue. But what I'm trying to get at here is, we've been given a great time in history. Make something out of it. Don't become soft. Don't become complacent. Don't let yourself get sucked into this trap of everything needs to be comfortable. And if it's not comfortable, I'm not going to do it. You know, I think that's why we've seen such a giant drop in the trade jobs. You know, like, listen, when I get older, that's what I want to go into. There's really good money in it. I enjoy doing it. I find worth and meaning in it. I love seeing stuff created. I've said this time and time again. But the weird thing is, you know, like, since the 2000s, it's only older guys in those jobs. Younger guys, it's very rare you find a younger guy who's dead set on going into that kind of stuff. Why is that? Because it is not easy work. It's physically taxing work. It takes a lot of effort. It makes you uncomfortable. There will be times you'll be in attics. You'll be up in 120-degree heat. You'll be sweating like crazy. You got insulation all over you. There'll be times you're in, you know, the cellars, and it's nasty, and there's snakes down there, and it smells like mold. It's all nasty down there. But guys, that doesn't mean that job is worth any less than the CEO of Walmart. Like, listen, you know, that guy who's in the cellar or in the attic, he may be working harder. Who knows? Or in different ways. But what I'm trying to get at here is, that's an uncomfortable job. That doesn't mean it's a bad job. And we've just been sold this whole idea of, like, well, I could just never live, you know, with the thought of coming home just looking like just nasty every day and having to jump in the shower right away. Okay. I mean, maybe if that's how you want to live your life, go for it. But personally, I don't mind dirt. I don't mind getting nasty and uncomfortable and sweating and, you know, maybe getting nicks and little cracks in my hands and bleeding. I don't mind that stuff, okay? And in fact, I get done at the end of the day and I look back on that stuff and I'm like, that was a pretty darn manly day right there. And so, like, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant there or anything, but I'm just trying to say I find worth in that stuff. I find meaning, and I think so many young men would find the same thing if they were just willing to jump out on a branch and just go do something nasty and gritty like that and get out of their comfort zone, get a little uncomfortable. That's fine. It's not the end of the world if you come home and you're exhausted. It's not the end of the world if you get to an area where you don't know what to do. And so, like, you know, you just ask somebody, okay? Like, it's just, we've been sold this whole idea, and I've seen it especially in men. It's just like, people are so afraid to be uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. Whether that's talking about, stuff that's a deeper topic that they don't necessarily know everything about, and you get into a conversation, they're like, oh, I don't really talk about that stuff because it's just everybody's got different opinions on it, and I don't really feel like talking about it. Well, okay, I mean, to each their own, but like uncomfortable conversations sometimes yield the greatest results, and you learn the most from them, and that's how conversations work sometimes. And it's the same thing with your job. It's the same thing with so many areas of your life, is that you have to become uncomfortable to become a better man. That's just how I've always seen it. Like I said, none of this is coming straight from the mouth of God, but these are my thoughts, and this is what I think. And I really think that young men are afraid. They are fearfully they can't stand the thought of being uncomfortable. And it's a great thing. You get done with it and you feel better afterwards. You feel more like a man. So my advice to you, get out there, do something that makes you uncomfortable, push yourself a little harder, get sweaty, get nasty, get into the rough of life and enjoy it, okay? Enjoy every minute. That's all I got to say. Thanks for watching Man in the Making, and have yourself a great day.